The last ayah for today, وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. Now the final bit, the final proof of what makes them corrupt. And when a messenger came, especially from Allah to them, a special gift from Allah came to them. Not just the promises they had made, a messenger came to them from Allah. مُصَدِّقٌ لِمَا مَعَهُمْ. And the description, the sifa, the na'at of that messenger is confirming what was already with them. So this messenger didn't come with something entirely new and they saw it and they said, I don't know about this. We've never heard anything like this. He was actually confirming what they already have with them. Now here Allah didn't add the word kana. لِمَا كَانَ مَعَهُمْ. What used to be with them. You could say it used to be with them, they changed it, they no longer have it, so they don't know. We're not sure what He's talking about. Allah says, لِمَا مَعَهُمْ. What is in fact with them right now? They have it in their book and they saw and they knew He's the messenger. We talked about that in detail before. So Allah says, when He sent a messenger confirming what they had, مُصَدِّقٌ لِمَا مَعَهُمْ نَبَذَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ. A group from among those who were given the book. A subtle note about language here. Allah mentions two kinds of phrases. آتَيْنَا الْكِتَابِ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابِ. We gave them the book. And then He mentions الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ. The people who were given the book. So He makes it passive. And it's interesting that every time He mentions the active form, آتَيْنَا, something good is mentioned. And so Allah mentions Himself, we gave the book, when something good is mentioned. And when they do something evil, Allah separates His name from them. He says those who were given the book. Doesn't mention Himself. He doesn't say we gave them the book. He says utul kitab. So a group from among them, they took kitab Allah. نَبَذَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ. They took the book of Allah and they chucked it behind their backs. وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ. Behind their backs. You know how this image of throwing something behind your back is when it's trash. Like you're writing something, came out no good. You crumple up the paper, throw it behind your back. You know, this idea of trashing things. Literally, they treated the word of Allah, the book of Allah, like that. In other words, they read their book, they saw the sign, and they said, no more fun reading. وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ كَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. As though they have no idea. Now Allah doesn't say because they have no idea. لِأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. He says, كَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. As though they have no idea. You know what that implies? Pretending that they have no idea. As, coming across that, I don't know what you're talking about. And by the way, you'll find this even today when you're trying to talk to someone about, something in deen and they want to make you look like a fool. You know what's the easiest thing you could do? You could just say, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. That makes no sense to me at all. Never heard of it. Somebody could say the most amazing thing to you and you could completely invalidate what you're saying with just these few words. I have no idea. No idea what you're talking about. No, I have no clue where you're coming from. Don't get it. You're making someone seem like, maybe I didn't put my sentence together properly. Maybe my ideas are incoherent, making them doubt themselves. So they know exactly what the messenger is talking about, but are they going to let him have that satisfaction? No. They're going to come across as, what's he talking about? كَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. These mind games. These mind games even happen now in da'wah. You'll speak to someone, and especially college students, they love getting into debates with agnostics and atheists, and that's the fun thing to do nowadays, right? And these kids, let me tell you something, they love debate. They love it. They live off of it. They want nothing more than you to just talk to them and they say, what about this, what about that? Nah, I'm not that convinced. That's kind of weak. That's this. And they want you to squirm. A lot of times these kids, especially these philosophy major type kids, they have nothing to do in their life except video games and, just debating philosophy. Besides that, they have no other life. They really don't. So when they come to you, it's not because they want to learn the truth, and if you were to give them convincing proof that they would be able to turn to Allah, that's not the point. They just love playing mind games. Some people love playing sports, some people like basketball, others like golf. These guys like mind games. That's all they like. And so sometimes Muslims, we're naive, we don't realize that, and we keep playing into these mind games. Some of you are employees at companies, and your coworkers like playing these mind games with you. And they just ask you stuff, throw stuff at you, just to see what you're going to do, just to see your reaction, And we play right into it like puppets. And these people are smart enough, they know exactly how we're going to respond, and they do it exactly knowing what move we're going to make next and what they're going to say next, and just, gotcha again. We have to become more savvy when it comes to dealing with this kind of ignorance. We have to become more, a little more street smart at least, a little more than we are now. Not so naive, not so worked up, not so easily caught in these kinds of discussions. May Allah Azza wa Jal open our eyes to what's going on around us. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us guidance and wisdom and lessons for all aspects of our life, including the work of making da'wah by means of His book and the sunnah of His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ni wa iyyakum bil ayat wa dhikr al-Hakim. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.